Well, here we go. This is momentous for the channel. A very exciting moment for me. PGA show has just finished, well, a couple of weeks back. And I've been looking at all these announcements about like new launch monitors and things. And I've received a delivery today. And I've put a lot of effort into this channel, as you know, over at HybridMe, www.hybridme.co.uk. We've been helping people build sims by providing mats and screens and generally a lot of my time to assist. I'm now offering myself as a consultant for a day. Use me as you wish. I'm not going to be doing full installs, but if you want a full day where we just sit with you, plan a project and buy all the different components, I'm available. But this is exciting because I have received a package in the post and I can't wait to see what it is, because I've been thinking, all these new launch monitors, obviously my channel is the first place anybody goes to for information. I assume Rick Shields watches my channel and then sees what I'm up to and then comes up with his own content afterwards. And let's see what it is. So, bit of paper. I'll read that later. Okay, nice. Thrown in some free teas. Love that. Love that. Okay. Thrown in some more free teas. Nice. Love these things. Okay, and some more. Okay, more free teas. Okay, can't wait for. Thrown in one of these stress things. It's like a sand thing. Now I get angry on the channel, so they must have seen this and thought they want to protect their expensive bit of equipment. So yeah, this thing feels like it's full of sand, but I assume it's one of those things I put in the microwave and then cool me down. Don't do that. We'll get, and some wires. That must be for charging it, or maybe for the card case. K2 Golf. Where do I know that from? Oh, bugger. That's the tease guy. Okay. Okay, really. I mean, really, yes. So, I've been sent some teas to review. It's exciting, as I said, it's an exciting day for the channel. We love to review new things, and I'll be testing these golf tees. And you attach that thing to the tee? Really? Okay. Yeah, K2, of course it is. Krep. Thanks, Krep. Really appreciate that. I will review those. I just think if I could do a good job, I might work my way through. I might be sent like other things like, I don't know, pitch repair markers to review, or golf towels, or maybe those things that you clean the grooves with, because I don't do that a lot of. Why don't I go out to the sim and get this started? Alright, see you momentarily. Okay, I'm down in the sim to continue the review of the K2 Golf tees. Now, this video obviously is going to be first impressions. I can't really give an opinion on things like durability and longevity of tees until I've used them for a long period of time. So this video will be going out with first impressions, and I'll continue to update it as the testing goes on. So let's have a look firstly at what arrived in the box that I showed you earlier. Firstly, very professionally packaged, nice K2 Golf logo there. There is a lovely story behind what was the motivation behind building these tees. I'm going to cover that at the end, and I'll also show you some slightly better lighting footage of the tees, going into a bit detail, so you can see that in a little bit better detail than you can here with the limited lighting I've got. So, firstly, let's empty everything out. What I can see is that all the tees that I've been sent come in their nice separate bags, showing that they're made in the USA. And they are numbered based upon the height. Number 1 being the lowest, number 8 being the highest. You can either buy the size you need, and they come in packs, in that case, 3 of those or 2 of those, 2 of the larger ones or 3 of the smaller ones, or you can buy a full set. The website is www.k2golf.com. I'll be covering that later. Let's just have a look at the first set. What else have I been sent? I mentioned the tethers earlier. These have little clips there. They're metal clips that will go in to the tee, and you've got that to tether to the bag. This earlier, I made a little joke about putting it in the microwave. Do not do that. It's full of sand, and it's heavy enough that it will weigh down. There's no way I'm going to be moving that around unless I hit it with a driver swing, which would be really bad, which I can't do. I'm not that bad a golfer. I don't think anybody is, so don't be concerned by that. But at first impressions, it looks very premium, really neat, nice weight to it. Yeah, looks great. Nice branding on it. My first impressions about using a tetherer, I had no desire to do so. It's just kind of clutter. In my case, I've got the unique situation that I have to stand next to the GC2 to putt left-handed because of my problems, but placement isn't going to be an issue because I can still stand, you know, where I wish to down here, and there'll be plenty of room to my hitting area, which is here. Yes, I have a line on my mat. I didn't have one until Shanky Golf came up and he drew one on. Yeah, because I move the ball left and right and I have no visual guide to where I'm aiming, I feel I need one there for a little bit of help being able to figure out where I'm trying to start the shot. Let's cue comments about is that acceptable in tour rounds, but you know, many people have got visual guides, whether it's the edge of a mat or what it may be. And with this kind of tee turf, you don't. Anyhow, I'm digressing. So let's have a look at the tees themselves. If I tip out the full bag, which has one of each size, going from the smallest, which is going to be the size 1. Oh, let's get in focus. Through to, I've actually put the 2 back in there. Oh, where are we? There we go. There's the number 2. Through to number 3. Oh, in focus, through to number 7, 4. They'll go all the way up to 8, which is the tallest. You've got that. They're actually a 2-piece design. So you've got the kind of plug in the base that goes through to the tee. And then you've got the base. And it means being by 2-piece, you've got a bit more give. Now, one thing I'm going to do, that's just a bit of fluff at the top of that tee, showed off in its full glory. If I rotate the inner bit, the outside stays as it is. So you can kind of see that it's a 2-piece design to provide a bit more give. You've got the tether that will attach it to the sandbag, as I'll call it, but it is the tether. Without further ado, let me discuss some of the reasons why you might want to consider these tees. Many are people that buying mats. I sell mats at Hybrid Me. I like to use the T40, which is this kind of deep pile T-turf, which is a very honest mat. It doesn't mask any fat shots. You don't get any kind of skid or bounce, artificial skid or bounce. We also do alternative mats. I like to stand on this one because it's a little bit firmer. This is a short pile mat. The only way I'm getting a tee through is if I insert it through the hole that is there, and you could use like traditional rubber tees or something similar. When I sell these mats, I do tell people to avoid artificially adding wear, things like the tee turf, don't use real tees. But of course you could do. These are used often for winter areas. And if I tee the ball in a fresh bit of turf, let's go over here. I don't really stand on this bit very much. Push the tee down. You can get a tee to stand up in the tee turf. But you'll have seen me faffing about for very good reasons. Once you start hitting, you slightly soften the fibres. And if I try and put that in there, put a ball on it, it falls off. Let's try again. Let's try a new bit there. Nope, can't get it in. Let's try that bit. Oh, that's gone in. Nope. Let's put it carefully. Nope. It's really, life depends on it. No problem at all. But I play quickly. I don't want the hassle of that. You also end up chasing these tees around the place in the sim room. I was going to throw all those up and say, 1 round later, all these tees, but I can't be bothered picking them up. So that's the reason why I don't think you want these. You want ones that sit on the surface. Now you can get winter rubber tees. and I've tried a few, and my experience is these are much more flexible than the kind of these, which have a bit of give, but certainly feel nice and rigid, but not too rigid that they would be brittle. I like the feel of them, and I think they look great as well. When I've used these in the past, particularly playing in cold weather, where my barn is cold or where the sim is cold, I would find they would tear relatively easily. Literally, they would just tear off. And also, when I used the smaller ones, they would fly around and I wouldn't find them. So I'm not a big fan of those. Now, alternatives, what else is out there? Well, we have things like the Berties. And I have sold Berties in the past. And if you're watching my channel, I tend to throw a Bertie down currently. The challenge I have is I like to play with the pink castle tees. These align to the size 6 on, let me put them in so we can see, hopefully. They're just about the same height by the time we get the pink castle tee in. Now, I'm trying to change my swing to slightly hit up on the ball, so I don't want to be using anything lower than the pink castle. And that's where I have an issue with the Berties. And I say Mario's a great guy at Bertie Golf. They also supply a lot of these tees for disability golf, and I think it's the Invictus Games and that they were looking at trying to get into and things like that, or maybe they're already into, I don't know. But it's where people with limited movement may be able to just throw the tee down, and it either sits like that, or could maybe use a foot, or just nudge it with a golf club, and it's very easy to get that tee down. So compare it to what I was doing with real tees, that goes down easily, and you can tee the ball up, no problem. Similarly, with the new tees, same ease of no problem putting it down there, no problem balancing it. Oh, that was me flying around, getting it on there. So that's great. However, I can't deny it, I'm not a big fan of the look. But the biggest issue of all is if I'm somebody that wants to tee the ball up high, try and encourage that positive angle of attack, you need a size 7 or above Bertie. And unfortunately, I do experience that the tops crack. And I've had that happen to so many, and it's mainly the reason why I don't sell them anymore. Simply because I'm not comfortable with the cost and the fact that they will break off the top. And even from a landfill point of view, having to then throw them away. So that unfortunately is the weakness. If I'm going to continue using the size 6s and 5s, which I am currently in the sim prior to receiving these new tees, then is that another 7? Yep, that's another 7. And I've been using these 6s for quite some time. Sorry about this, the footage. And I don't see any breaking on the top. Certainly the 5s, I haven't seen a thing in terms of breakage. Much more durable. But again, if I'm honest, I would rather be teeing the ball up on that, looking premium, as opposed to the kind of shuttlecock, as I'm going to call it, style design, just from an aesthetics point of view. And people building their simulators do care about the aesthetics. I don't overly. I've got carpet stapled to the ceiling. I've got damaged photography backdrop cloth that I've hacked at with putters and irons and drivers and staple gun to the wall. However, when it comes to the technology, I have got a 55-inch touchscreen display there with the IR frame around it. I've got a very high-end PC. I've got surround sound. I've got a GC2 HMT. Yes, it used to be cutting edge. Now people are saying it's way better, but I'm still selling my GC2. But I care about the technology and those kind of aesthetics, and the clubs I buy tend to be quite pretty ones, such as the Titleist 620 MBs, which I think are absolutely stunning. I've got to try playing them again, see if I can still hit them. So aesthetics do matter to me, and that's going to be the reason why I'm interested. If these can stand up, and particularly using the size 6 and the size 7, if they can stand up to the long-term test, then I'll be very happy. I don't have all the pricing for this intro. I will be covering that at the end when I tell you the full story about the company, talking about the kind of cost, because cost is a huge point as well, of course. Other tees that I do use, and I should mention, I've got these, which are, these are an unbranded type, but there are branded ones out there as well. Very lightweight, They stand okay on the worn turf. I only say okay because sometimes I do find that they could sink at an angle and topple off. They require a little bit more effort than using the Berties, and certainly I can already tell just because of the way the base is that these will be a slightly more solid base. However, I do find them pretty much indestructible. Now they come in the one size, which again corresponds to about a size 6. Let's just compare the two. Ball on there, ball on there. The green tee is just a tiny bit higher. Of course I could push it down, but that would be more effort. There we go, that's matching them up pretty much. And if you need adjustments, you could double them up to get them a little bit higher. But again, that's not ideal, and aesthetically, again, I much prefer the K2, and I'm going to test the tether to see how I feel about that. So, you know, there are options out there, and I'm not here to just go and sing the praises of one product unless I feel it absolutely is the standout. And at this point, for the next few weeks and maybe beyond, I will be only using the K2 Golf Tees. I will be testing with the tether, at least initially, till I get my thoughts on it. And I'll be feeding back to you on what my thoughts are about the K2 Golf Tees. And a genuine huge thank you to Krep for sending these over. The intro was just for a bit of fun. I'm very happy to use these, test them out, and share my thoughts with you. As I know that you're continuing to work on them to make sure that, you know, they're absolutely the best they can be for your customers, which is a great thing. Okie doke, I did say I'd cover a little bit more detail. So you've got your tether pack, you've got your golf tee, and you've got your bungee cord. How are you going to attach these? Using the little metal clip. Rather than me showing you how to do it, why don't I go over to k2golf.com, and there's some really helpful user guides there, and I will disappear up here in the corner and actually build one while the video is playing. So we'll go to k2golf.com. I'll just get the active browser window up. Oh, it is there, good. First thing you have to do is set your region, then you will get pricing in the shop in your region. We'll head over to the shop now so you can actually see what the pricing looks like. As I mentioned earlier, you can get 3 lots of the smaller tees, 2 lots of the kind of mid tees up to the longest, or you can get a pack with 1 of each, and the prices range from £9 for the smallest through to £33 for the full set. Then you have the kind of tether pack options if you do wish to tether them as well. So I certainly would be thinking, if these play out well for me, then if I'm someone who tees up all my clubs, then I would be going for the full set and the tether pack. If I'm someone who doesn't tee up them all, such as I only use driver, I would be choosing the tee height I want. And you do get some customization in the tee height. We'll get onto that very shortly. Bear with me. Looking at the shipping details, because these are shipped from the US presently. At the moment, Hybrid Me has no commercial tie-in at all with these. Whether that's an option for the future, who knows? First thing is for me to test these and say what I think. I mean, that's my sole objective, is to use these exclusively going forward and to provide feedback on my thoughts. So shipping at the moment appears to be $60 or more spent, and you get free shipping in the US, $8 to ship to Canada, and $15 rest of the world, which will be the UK. And if you spend more than $100, then rest of the world shipping is free. That offer appears to have expired, so certainly you're not going to be getting a discount based on the PGA show work that was going on. Now, there is a really helpful guides for the tether pack for attaching bungee cords and change height. Sometimes on any products you buy, they come up with guides saying how easy it is, and it isn't. Let's see. So I'm going to disappear up in the corner. Oh, I am in the corner already. Hello. And I'm going to attempt to build this while the instructions are ongoing. I'm just going to mute the music which plays just in case there's any licensing issue for the music and I get nobbled for it. So what do we need? I've got the pack. I've got a bungee cord, a red one I'm going to use. And I've got my little clip. Don't need the pack for now. So we actually crimp that and put it through the little hole, not the safety pin end. Okay, crimped through the hole. Oh, he's ahead of me. There we go, that's on. Then we get the safety pin bit. That's easy enough to open. I'm used to doing those for like running events. And we clip that on. Oh, I picked up the wrong thing. We clip that onto the tether bag down and behind. And I am done. So I lost there. That was a loss for me. It wasn't quick enough. But I now have I know I'm labouring the point, but there we go. We've got the tether attached. Fair bit of movement there. Quite a long bungee cord, which I was surprised about, if I'm honest. And currently we have a bungee loose at the other end. What's the next bit to do? How to attach the bungee cords. Now this bit, come on, there's a diamond there. You pull it over the diamond, surely. So I lost the first one. I was too slow. This one, I am going to scream to victory. Here we go. Fold it over the diamond, stretch it out over the diamond, and pull two. There we go, that's a win. That's a win for me. See, that's a win. So let's move. Oh, oh, the diamond split, so it does. The edges of the diamond actually split, so you can tuck it in. Oh, that's very neat. I like that. So, I didn't think it would come loose anyhow, but I was surprised by that bit. So where you've got the little diamond up there, these bits actually split, as you can see. Oh, you can see it in the video. So then that can kind of fold inside and pull nice and tight. That's not going to budge or come loose at all. Job done. Okay, let's cover the third video, which is adjusting the tee height. So obviously you're going to be selecting a tee suitable for your needs, but if you want to make some adjustments to the height, you can do so, which is another really cool thing, adding to the kind of flexibility of the tees. I assume it's just twisting it at the bottom and pushing it a bit up or down, but I don't know. Okay. Ooh, there's a hidden ridge. Push that through and you get the second ridge. Oh, right, that's cool. And get it back, push it back the other way. Makes sense. And that goes to the longer. Oh, excellent. So that's very neat. I didn't see that coming. So what is there? Again, just to reiterate the point, I had the tee with one ridge and it's now got two because we just pushed it up a bit. And if I want to push it back, I can flip this over the other way, push it back through, turn it back round, and I'm now on the lowest setting. And again, I can push it back through and we're up one height. Really like that. Adds to the flexibility of it all. Cool. That covers this part. Let's just go back over to k2golf.com. If anybody does want any other guides, there are guides available. Oh no, there's another bit. Silver to anchor, tether point, and the anchor position. I must admit, I wasn't sure what this was going to be. So this position reduces chance of breaking the bungee cord. By placing the bag towards the screen and away from the golfer, the bungee cord doesn't stretch until well after impact. This position also reduces chance of pulling the tee shaft out of the base. If placed behind the golfer, the bungee is overstretched immediately. Funny enough, that was going to be one of my questions. How much do I allow it to stretch the bungee when I hit it? So I had that completely wrong. And that also answers my question about will I be concerned, in my case, about where I have to stand given that I putt left-handed. So I would effectively be standing next to the GC2 where I thought the tether bag might go if it had a smaller bungee cord. No concerns. Let's go and play some golf with it. Okay, on to testing out the K2 golf tees. I've got my three cameras. What am I pointing to there? One, the diagonal cam, which is the top one. Main camera number two. Camera two, you don't even see the tees. Not going to be very useful. It's just the one that picks up my audio and the video. And then we've got camera number three up here, the bottom one. And if you look on the ground, you'll now see that I've got my GC2 and HMT here. I've got three tethers attached. The red tether is attached to a number 7 tee in its standard position. That is slightly higher than I would normally hit. I may end up making that adjustment by pushing one of the ridges through if I start popping them up, because I am prone to popping the drivers up anyhow. We've got the tether bag, and then I've got two other tethers attached. I've got a black bungee going to a number 2 T, and the white going to a number 1. Now I've said that I only use a T with driver. I will be using a T for all tee shots now. Maybe it'll be a good habit for me going forward, but I'm not going to destroy my tour rounds with that yet. We'll see how we go. I'm going to do the auto putt that I don't even normally do, simply because it means I will get to hit driver. And this will be my first thoughts. Already, although there's a bit of clutter there, I actually think, you know what, having the tee there, not having to fetch it, it's funny enough, my mindset has already gone towards embracing this rather than thinking I'm not going to like it. Elevation is sea level, that's good. Stimp 11, breezy, normal. Let's go. I've stopped the sound effects just because of the music. Let me turn it back on so we can hear it when the ball goes in the hole, as if the ball's going to go in the hole. On auto putt, the ball won't go in the hole at any point unless I hole a chip or an approach. Or maybe today's my day for a hole in one. You just never know, do you? Got one, what was it, last month? I think my first ever on the tour. But yeah, so far, really impressed with how everything comes together. It all looks and feels premium, and it's, I don't know, I like high-tech stuff, and it's probably as high-tech as these can get. Now, I'm not driving the ball very well. I do have some of my data that shows up on the right-hand side. What we got? Length, VLA, HLA, backspin, side spin, carry. Oh, I'll leave them. It doesn't matter. I was going to say that people want to see like my ball speed and stuff with regards to the tees and damage. I was looking for tees there. Of course, this is now my tee. On we go. Okay, higher tee, slightly further forward in stance. High for me. Try to encourage hitting up. But as for number one drive, we get there as a 240, right in the middle of what I normally do. I did block it right, but this is just adjusting. So, already, without paying any attention to it, the tee's over on the right hand side. Maybe I'm going to over labour the point. Anyhow, 9-9. Let's just get back to playing golf. Like zero warm up, didn't even hit any practice swing. So that's a par. It stops. So no chasing a tee anymore. Oh dear, we're on to an iron shot. So tee number 1. So first thought here is I'm already tangling the tethers. Not much. It's just because I've got 3 now. It's not an issue. It didn't take me long to be able to do that. Tee is obviously, ball is teed up, which with an iron looks very weird to me. Done it in a long time. Might feel weird as well. Let's see. That didn't feel weird. Stop. No, it's a 3-putt. Stop. Oh, it's a par. Okay. Lower spin with me teeing it up. I'm just curious, I haven't done this for like years, teed up an iron. Oh, I'm picking up the wrong tee. Not blaming anybody for that other than my stupidity. On we go. So I did block it 5 degrees right, concentrating on hitting up, so try this. Well, that's a low spin duck hook. That happens with or without teeing the ball up. '89 on the rough. Bit of wind behind. Okay, let's go with this. Is that enough? Might be too much. We'll get in there. Got that. Oh! Level pass still. Okay. So we're back to the red tee. I don't need to be so delicate with it, worrying about pulling the tether back. I mean, who cares? 2, 4, 5. Okay, because I could run out of fairway here. It's time to try the number 3 tether with the 3-wood. I have thought a couple of times whether I should tee up my 3-wood. So this is one that's a bit more been in my thinking. Higher than normal. Very neutral ball flight. I mean, I'd normally want more distance than that. Wouldn't want to launch it that high. So, 8 iron. Big 8 iron swinging in off that left hand side. Oh, that felt good. Be right on it. Go in there. Oh, this is why I hate auto putt. This is why I hate it with a passion. Okay, let's tee up the tee up my iron again. Oh, got to do this thingy with that tee. Well, I did it on the wrong side with the small tee. Kind of need to put the bungee around the correct side so it wants to sit with the tee down, if it makes sense. It will do if you get them. Uphill, oh, it's not even a 6 iron, I think it's a 5 iron. Putting against the wind, please. Ah! Be off the green. Oh no, 3 putt, here we come. Oh well. Everything's feeling fine. Actually, that was a decent hit. I think my spin numbers seem lower in the ball up. Might make sense not interacting with the mat. Oh. Oh. Okay. Over. Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Ooh, 0 side spin. Check that out. I had 2 0 side spins yesterday, I think. That's a nice drive for me. Breeze. 2-7. 280. 280 into the breeze. Love that. Okay, 204. I was about to tee it up again. I'm getting carried away with this now. No, 4 irons come into play now because I've ditched one of my wedges. 4 iron, a little bit cutty. Come on. That could be good if it cuts. Ah, why is it? Oh, 2 degrees left. That's okay. I'm off the green. Kind of want to be. Now it is a question of 15, 16 yard chip. That's good. Boom. Birdie, don't mind if I do. Okay, I'm liking it. I'm liking the neatness of the thing. I thought it would be clutter, but I like the fact I don't have all these tees on the ground anymore. That's just bringing trouble into play, hitting up there. Gonna hit a hybrid. So, big T goes away, number 1 comes out, and we are gonna try dolly a hybrid down the middle. Oh, I've turned it over. Hit the path. Don't keep too far left. That's fine, that's fine. Could have ended up a lot worse. First time the tether has stayed in the hitting zone. 1, 3, 4. Uphill. Simply can't get there with a 9 iron, so it's got to be a soft 8. clanging, it's because my wife is making a goat hoof trimmer thing out of wooden pallets. We've got goats. They're cool. They're a bit nuts, but they're cool. We are in a shared space here. That's the problem with Tim in the barn. I can't kick her out of the barn. I don't have the authority. Okay. That's a good one as well. Or 255. Loving this teeing the ball up higher. At the end, of course, I will look at the tee and see if it shows any wear and tear. One round. 159. Wind behind, so that's 15. Again, it's got to be a soft 8. Or 3 degrees right, but the wind. I think the wind's going to be, the 3 degrees right will overrule the wind. Oh, fatted it. That was too many thoughts there. That's the problem. I'm in between clubs. I start thinking about stuff. 33. Can't land it short or it's coming back. So I want to land this a good, only about a 28 yard. Yep. That's 35. Too much. Oh, I think that's fair. I don't think that should have stayed in. Okay, we're back to 5. So. Yeah, I can't get 285. A little bit hooky. No, not at all. Okay. Oh, toey. There's only 1 dot mode on HMT, so it probably was outside the dots. 68 into the breeze. We're going to use. We have to use the 84 yard wedge and just try and take something off it. Oh, lovely. Oh, too much. But the wind would do more. Oh, off the green's okay. Okay? No, it's not okay. Oh, it really shouldn't be in trouble from here. Oh, I've underhit it. That's diabolically bad. Bogey. That's terrible. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's a good one. Lost it right. Lost it right. Face open. Wasn't a good one. An angle of attack. Keep picking it up. Oh, up 2. Up 2 is good, isn't it? Into out 5.1. But I like the up 2. The idea. Big drawing 9-9. Much draw. 9-9. So I'm just a little bit short on form at the moment. This isn't happening. 161. Let's bring the number 1 back. No issue with tangling tether anymore. Just slight issue with the 1T that you do need the bungee on top actually rather than underneath. I think I'll put it the wrong side. Cool. Thinking I was doing it the right side. Anyhow, smooth 8. Doesn't need to be too hard. Got a chance. Being Average. Okay. Rubbish. How do these guys shoot? 16 under or 20 under on auto. Really is a round I couldn't care less about. This one I care. I'm going to whack it. 257. That's getting back up there. I should be in the 260s. I need to just start doing some strength work. 1.9, right, and a bit of breeze. Oh, this is soft 9 rather than a big pitching wedge. Let's try. There. Again, very, very average. Okay. On we go. 209. Should we go for the right fairway coming from there? No, it's probably a 3-wood. Let's stick a 3-wood down there. Grab the old number 2. Bit of a tank. Oh, it's rolling off that tee. Whoa, I've overdrawn. 237. That's a. Oh no. Bugger. 3-7 is the longest 3-wood I've hit in ages. Annoyingly, the one time I didn't need to. Maybe teeing it up will be a good idea for me. Seriously, you're either dropping me in the cack or you're dropping me, asking me to re-tee. Alright, we'll re-hit. That's not very nice. Not very nice friendly drop there, is it? I could have just bailed out over there. Let's try that 3-wood again. Oh, is that one? Like it or not, that was the best 3-wood distance of it in yonks. Seven. Yeah, I'm loving that. And it's my 3rd. I mean, there's no way I'm teeing up my my irons. It's not. But I'll continue to do it on anything other than tour rounds. Oh, that's a bit thin. It could end up okay, and I mean okay at best. Yeah. Double bogey. What we got? Can I get bothered? Pick it up. I've got to not be so delicate with this thing. That's the problem. It's new. I'm thinking, oh, best place it in the right place. Oh, it's not a drive, is it? Or is it? 273. No, I simply can't get there. So 5-iron down the middle there. Do just fine. That 4-iron by 4. Tell people all the time how my irons are good. Time for me to prove it. That's going to hook left. Ouch. Wet again. Good job I don't like auto putt. We're going to go back on the tee. I'm going to hit one without teeing it up. just to see if psychologically that's better for me. It is. So there is an element of forcing myself to test things that I wouldn't naturally do. Come on, big 7. We can get it there. Absolutely leather it. Get it there. Oh, it's just turned over. I did as well. I absolutely flushed it. Okay. Double bogey again. Par 5. Okay. I am having this slight issue with tee tumbling over. Not as wide a base as the 30s, but that isn't, as I say, it's not an issue. If it's durable, we're talking like maybe a secondary tee for me. Oh, that's a little bit hooky. Okay, though. Distance was fine. I've accidentally teed a shot up in the fairway. I do apologise. It's just me trying to test everything. So 3-wood down the middle. No, it's not. No, it's not. Is the answer. 18, not even. Yep. I'm trying to hit this 18. I wanted to test this theory. That's 16. 9. 30. Okay, here to go. 1-3-1. Again, I wouldn't be teeing it up, but if I was someone who was, get that number 1 tee over there. Yeah, it's just because the kind of mat I've got is very crumpled. Let me just test one thing. If I flip this around the other way, which I thought I did it the right way, and I think in theory I did it the wrong way. Same thing again. Over there. My spatial awareness working out what I'm doing here. Goes on there. In other words, I've actually got leather cord on top rather than could mean a bit up. Yeah, it's just a little bit. It's okay. It's okay, but it's very lightweight. It has to kind of lie on the fibres. I need to make sure that the bungee cord isn't trying to twist it while it sits down. Be my thought there. But there's no issue with it disappearing. But once I've got that system worked out, it'll be fine. $17. What are we hitting here? This is like simplicity. No having to worry about clubs and layups and things. Just smack a driver. I lose it right, yeah. Extend my arms, it's fine. Big wide fairway. 165. Right, I'm going to hit an 8-iron and absolutely nail it and draw it in. Oh, batted it. It's front of the green, it's 3-putt. Felt fat, maybe it was like just a bit steep, and no, it's fine. Could have been the amount of turf I took after the ball. On we go. One hole to play. One more big drop. Big drive. What I mean is one more drive. That'll play. A bit low, but don't mind that. 104, 106 club speed, 149 ball speed, 251 carry. Yeah, average for most people, but not that bad for me. It's uphill. I do think it's a 7 iron. Don't want to absolutely flush it. Solid without being. Wow, everything. I'm tugging everything left. Chip on the birdie will be okay. What do we need? About 8. Okay. Oh no. 4. And that's that. So, after one round, my initial thoughts. The tethery bits do get a little bit tangled up because I've got 3 in play. In reality, I'm going to have 1 in play. No issue for me. 1, get up and show you what I mean. The 1, just because it's so light, it does mean when it gets laid down, any movement from the bungee cord or weight of the bungee cord is going to twist it. So that moves that a fair bit, which does make it a little bit challenging to kind of place it level. Also, I can just see it's like not exactly flat on the bottom. Makes that 1 a little bit problematic at this moment in time. Now, whether I can stretch it out and get it flat, I'm sure there's a system, maybe actually just getting the bungee cord attached slightly differently at a different angle, or maybe putting a bit of attention into it, clipping over. All those things might resolve that, but most of it was bad shots that I played, nothing to do with this. The tether only once was in the hitting zone, every time it went round out of the way, which is what I wanted. I enjoyed not chasing tees. I enjoyed not having to kick tees out of the way when I come around to stand. A couple of times, teeing it up with the base, it wasn't quite as stable as something like the larger Berties, but I've already said I prefer the look of the tees. Oh yeah, let's look at any marks, because that's going to be, at the end of the day, I'll just go under the light over here. And 1 round in, I'd be disappointed if there was. I can't see any damage at this point. Nothing to report. I wouldn't know if there's a tiny scuff there on the edge, if that's from the manufacturing process, and I can look at some others and see, or whether that was me just clipping the edge of it. Yep, I don't. Nothing really to report after 1 round, which I would hope would be the case. That's the full kind of 360 view of it. I like it. Let's see how I get on with them longer term. As I say, these will be all I will be using going forward. Let's do a driving range session where I just hit 10 or 20 drives, and we'll just be testing the number 7. So hang around for the story behind the tee development. That is next. No. See ya. Oh, not my best driving. So, have a look. No. Only a bit of dust. Apart from that, nothing at all to note, which is how I would hope it would be. Enjoyed that, like the product, like the tees, we'll be using them going forward. please please listen out for the story, and then subscribe to the channel, and I'll be putting out an update in around a week's time, and then after a week, probably a month, and then we'll see at what point, if at all, it starts to disintegrate. And if it doesn't, then I'll certainly be singing its praises, because it will be the first thing I've tried that looks neat and has the flexibility around changing height and all those things. Love the product so far. So that kind of concludes all of the testing for day one. As I said, I've been very impressed with the K2 Golf tees so far. I'll be putting out an update in about a week's time just to say how they are. There'll be a short version of this review going out tomorrow, because there's a lot of stuff on here that nobody will be watching. I'm well aware of that. But I kind of like to do thorough things when I put my time and effort into it. I like to do something thoroughly. A huge thank you to Kevin at K2 Golf for sending these over for me to have a go and give my thoughts. For those people that do want the future updates, please subscribe to the channel, and that means when I push out the further updates, you will be notified, so you can kind of keep track on how these are standing up to the longer term test. Now, I mentioned I was going to give you the background story. I mean, basically, Kevin, who is Krep, I've referred to Krep as the Discord username, started this project back in December 21 when there was a 3D printer that was normally selling for $300 US. It was discounted to $200 and it had a $100 rebate. So for that amount of money, it was worth taking a punt. And he wanted to kind of come up with some ideas for building his own tees and save the money he was spending on buying other tees that were costing around $60 every few months, just due to breakages. He'd already mentioned that to me that he was trying to kind of hit up on the ball more, so therefore using taller tees. And as I mentioned earlier, in the early part of the video, some of the taller tees out there do suffer from damage at that kind of high end, and that's the challenge that was looking to be addressed. First few designs, and I think the phrase he used was dozens of designs, basically blew apart on the first or second shot, so that was a bit of a challenge. Then came up with a two-part design, meaning that if something broke, you'd only have to print the one of the two parts, which would make it quicker and easier for prototyping and addressing the breakages. That actually proved to give a little bit more give, effectively, if I'm using the wrong phrase there, which we mentioned the two-part design. It just meant there's a little bit more give and flexibility in the model for the tee, and that meant that it could last a number of rounds rather than the kind of early prototyping. Then, and I think through this he was using an app called Tinkercad. Looking at my notes, that's where my notes are, which was all part of the kind of basics of 3D design, so that was necessary to get up to speed. On my channel, I talk a lot about simulatorgolftour.com. I'm now involved in the Quinn Cup at Sim Golf and the GS Pro community. There's a lot of great guys out there and very clever guys. And one of the key things that he did was to actually involve 50 of the users by sending them a tee of their preferred size, so that they could actually test the tees and provide feedback. Generally, it was very positive, or overwhelmingly positive feedback. But the biggest ask was about bungee cord and tethering. I'd never used a tether before, so when this was mentioned to me, it's like, no, thank you. But now that I'm using one, I can get that. I like the fact I don't have these other tees just flying around the place and causing issues. And I think my only comments earlier about sometimes the tether snagging, those kind of things, will be a lot easier when I revert back to my standard only teeing up driver, and maybe teeing up 3-wood, because I did it a couple earlier that felt good. But certainly for irons, no, not for me. I don't need to tee the ball up. That's got nothing to do with the tees. So he went away and researched how we could take the design from being a kind of 3D printed design through to an injection molded product. Just so it's more efficient, and found a local manufacturer over there, which is great, only 10 miles from the house. That's kind of where it's got to. The anchor bag itself was very late in the Kickstarter campaign that was kicked off. Originally it was actually a warm-up swing weight, and there were other products out there for doing that. However, it was difficult to get them made in the large quantities that were needed. So after a few months, started making his own, using a cornhole bag. I'm not entirely sure what a cornhole bag is, but with some wrapping around it, and it actually worked really well. And then in a later phase went to adding sand in it to make it a full pound weight, and now is doing a lot of the work locally and himself actually to be able to kind of produce them, and it's been very popular. I think it looks really neat and I liked it. So that's kind of the story behind it. It just started with, well, can you do something yourself using a very cheap 3D printer, and has evolved through to this stage. So great work. If you've got an idea, put some thought into it, and either capable yourself or know the right people. In my case, it would be know the right people. You can get your idea off the ground in many different ways. So that's the background for it. Thank you to Kevin for this again, and thank you for your attention. Please let me know your thoughts on the video, and I will be back in a week's time to provide another update on the K2 Golf tees. Goodbye.